Hello, everybody. How are you guys? I am tuning in here from Virginia and just want to say hello, give you a little update what's going on, and then ask your opinion for some help. Now, I am changing my webcam here, so I'm hoping the sound still works here. Some reason it's real glitchy, like it's I don't know, it's stuttering, so I had to change over to the crappy webcam built in on the computer. I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong, so if any listeners know how to turn down the bit rate on that, maybe that's the problem. I have turned down the bit rate, well, just the OSB to make sure it's working right, but I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, so hopefully this is working. Soon somebody will pop in the live chat and give me some feedback, I hope, and you guys can tell me if I am jamming live or not here. Okay, so let's get down to some business here. I'm going to wait just a few more minute or two to make sure that this is actually working okay, and then we'll get down to it. So what I'm looking for is some answers about where to go and what to do with the next step. So as far as the next step goes with where this channel goes, I've been driving around a lot. You know, for most of you guys know that I've been on the road for, over the last 4 months. I've been on the road 3 of those months, and it gives you a lot of time to think when you're driving and going through all this. It lets you really decide what's going on with your future. And one of the things about that is that oh, great, I'm getting some feedback. Thank you. So you guys are hearing this okay? I'm having major webcam issues, and I had to switch back to my crappy webcam. So I don't know if that's working now or not. So let me explain what's going on. Oh, Uni, hey, man. And Susanna, Liz, Vicky, I appreciate you guys. No, you're not late. I just started. I didn't announce this. It's kind of spontaneous. So what I want to talk about is rebranding this channel. And for you guys, since some of you really haven't been with me more than a few months, you don't realize that how this channel started. What happened was, I think it was back around 2008 or 9, I started doing some low-budget news service. I was very much, at that time, into the libertarian world and doing stories about activism, mainly based in the South, because there was some activism going on in the South, and nobody really was talking about it. So I covered the Low Country. And originally this thing was called the Low Country Liberty Report, the LCL report. And my channel rose to popularity doing that. Back then it was a lot easier. In 2008, if you could get like a runaway story, you would get lots of views and subscribers. But you know, back then you're talking about, you couldn't even control your thumbnails. There weren't any special features on YouTube. It was very raw and archaic. Like, you don't have the way to control it now. These things didn't even exist, and they didn't even monetize back then. You couldn't get paid for your content. You were just doing it to be cool. So I decided to do that, and the channel got busier and busier. But I moved from the South. You know, I mean, I kind of burned out doing news. Like, it's a depressing, negative thing when you're constantly fighting the government and the atrocities, and you're seeing your buddies get arrested for literally wearing a hat in court or filming a police officer and they're getting beaten up, you know, and I'm reporting about that stuff. And it's important, you know. It was a fight for liberty, but it was also kind of a negative place to be on that front. That's what I projected all the time. And I was honest, you know, I wasn't planning on making a career on YouTube. At the time, they weren't even paying, so I was just doing it for fun. So my channel gets going, and then eventually I start moving my activism more into shifting to learning how to be more self-sustaining. So I get more into learning how to grow your own food, and I start making channel stories reflecting that. And a lot of my channel kind of shifts from news stories to farming. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be ignoring your messages. Let me see what people are saying. Hey, Drunken Ewok. Yes, good to see you guys. And Vicky Liss, Char, thanks for coming. All right, so here's what's here's what's going on. Rebrand it like Kramer, the Dr. Lupo show. That's right. I'm gonna get the old Merv Griffin set it up like Kramer did. Okay. Before you distract me too much, let me finish my story, then I'll answer all the questions you want. So I've evolved the channel over the years, and then all of a sudden YouTube started paying, and I didn't monetize for like 2 years. I didn't think it was going to make anything. I was like, whatever. It's probably going to be, $1.50. It's not worth my time. So I start monetizing it a few years in, and it starts paying pretty good. And I was like, oh, well, crap. My first story here made like $100 a month. Maybe I should do something with this. And so I start shifting it to more documentary style. I get serious about what I'm doing. I go out and I buy a good camera. I do more farming documentaries, and I start going and interviewing other people at farms. And if you go look at my back work on the channel, you'll see it's much more professional. It's presented like a documentary. I'm barely in it. It's just like my voice. You don't really see me much. So the channel really wasn't about me. It was more like my interest, and it was very much a how-to channel, like how to how to grow mushrooms, how to have alpacas, how to start a farm on, like, what's the best the niche plants to grow to make the most money, that stuff like that. So it's kind of farm oriented, and I kind of pick up both worlds, because a lot of almost what I found out is farming is kind of like across the board, everybody likes it. So you can have people that are from the libertarian world. You can have people that have nothing to do politically. You can have people, old ladies who just like farming. And everybody agrees that learning how to grow your own food is kind of a positive, good, empowering thing. So it wasn't a very controversial channel. It's just like growing your food. So what happened was I'm going through the years and the channel's evolving. And I start just kind of, I kept getting a lot of questions because I am a chiropractor, and they'd be like, hey, what's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on this? So I take the most common health stories. And at that time, I was back in practice. I was working for someone. I was running like a functional medicine clinic at my friend's practice for a bit, just helping him out, really. And the side to that was I started doing some health stories, and then people would come on this channel and be like, what the hell is this channel about? You've got old libertarian stories, you've got silly, funny stories, you've got, farming stories, you've got health stories. And then the last year, I start doing a show, I start doing stories about the Mandela effect. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, well, maybe I should do a live show. And I'm like one of the first guys in with a large live show. And it takes off, and I get a lot of viewers from the live show. And then people want live streams over and over so they can talk and interact. And I just kind of don't make stories much anymore like I was. So my channel is very confusing. If someone asks me, what is your channel about? I'm like, a lot? I don't know. I mean, everything, it's changed over the last 8 or 9 years, whatever the heck, whatever I've been on for. So I don't know how to answer that simply. Because one of the things I learned way back in the day in sales was you should be able to give a 10-second elevator pitch on what you do. So if I meet you on the street, you could be like, what's your channel about? I should be able to say in 10 seconds, my channel focuses on farming. And most YouTubers that are big only do one thing. They're a niche channel. So they're the tech guy that reviews new phones, or they're, a spirituality guy, or they are just a nutrition guy. They don't have multiple things going on. So it does hinder me on YouTube that people can't niche me out. They don't know what the hell I am. But the flip side is there is a generation of people that are just themselves on YouTube. Like, people keep talking about like Joe Rogan, or he doesn't really do anything but interview and talk about other people, right? Like, he's just himself. He doesn't have to be a channel about technology, or he doesn't have to be a channel. So I realize in the future I would like to just have a channel about about me, like what I want to do and what I as my interests change. Because nothing will bore me to death and kill me than making me talk about the same thing over and over. Even like with the Mandela effect stuff, I love talking about it, but eventually you burn out. I'm like, if people talk to me about it now, I'm like, I don't really want to talk about it because we talked about it for a year. So you do burn out. So my question is, what do I do? I'm thinking of rebranding kind of as a variety channel, where I simply keep going what I'm doing, but make it clear to people that there's a couple different topics I like, and it's a variety channel. So if you sign up, you're signing up because you want to see whatever I'm interested in that month. That you don't know really what you're going to get, and I think that is what's interesting with that channel. But I know people don't. I don't know if people like that. They want to be like, they love pigeonholing that this dude is, a tech guy. Like, I'm sure I see Vegan Warrior commenting. I'm sure people were like, oh, he's going to talk about nothing but vegan stuff, which he doesn't. If you watch his show, actually, he doesn't talk much about it at all. Well, his old show. You know what I'm saying? It's the mind likes to compartmentalize people, so they, to make it simple to understand. So I need to figure out how to make a easy message to understand that still explains what the heck I do. So Liz is saying, let's see what you guys say. I'm going to stop for a second, read your comments here. Okay, so Liz says she's excited to hear what I want to do next. Yeah, you guys are cool like that because you actually kind of get what I'm doing. But if I were to talk to someone who doesn't, has never met me, doesn't have a clue, just see some crazy Jesus-looking guy on here spouting about crazy stuff, I might scare them off because there's a lot to this channel besides esoteric Mandela stuff. It's you go back and look at like 8 years of stories, man, hundreds. So, Holly says being a jack of all trades and a master of none has served her well in this world. I like the all over the place style of blogs, Vicky says. So, how do I? Vegan says Joe is a paid gatekeeper, Doc. He gets a pass. Okay, well, I was just trying to think of somebody who's, I hate to use this term, cult of personality, where you tune in to see them. You don't really care what they're talking about. You tune in to see what they're interested in, or they'll bring you something different every show. Like, I don't want to be just that tech guy, or just, like, I don't talk about it much, but people don't realize, I've got, like, 15 years of higher education on health issues. I know a lot about health stuff, but I still talk about it much. Like, I could do lots of stories. But I don't know, it doesn't interest me as much. Like, I would much rather talk about whatever's going on at this moment that is interested in the community than, arthritis of the knee. It's just not that exciting of a topic. But I do those stories because I feel like I have something to tell a little. Point is I'm thinking maybe branding the like Lupo TV. So imagine back in the old days, well, it's still going on with cable, if you have a TV station and at certain times you tune in and, at noon, it's going to be a show about whatever. It's going to be a cooking show. And then at 2, it's going to be a variety talk show. And at 4, it's going to be your favorite soap opera. And at 6, it's going to be whatever. It's crime drama. Like a TV station has many topics that don't really fit together, but then do, So they're all under one, Turner Broadcasting or something. I kind of want to do the same with my channel, is like do Lupo TV, and by the way, here's some of the interest that I'll be doing stories about. And if you don't want to hear about farming, then screw it. Don't watch those stories. You don't want to hear about Mandela effect or esoteric interviews or spirituality, then don't watch that stuff. You only want the comedy pieces I do, fine. Then just tune in for the funny stuff and laugh, and that's it. And, but the problem is everybody wants you to be a certain niche, so you're easy to understand. And I believe it's holding me back because I can't niche out. I don't know. I mean, if you ask me what I do, I can't tell you in under 10 seconds. So I need to take this umbrella of stuff I do and narrow it down to a 10-second elevator pitch. Like, I run a variety channel. We focus on farming, live talk shows, and health stories. Like, I don't really know. But lately, it's been a vlog. I mean, the last 3 months since I've been on the road, I'm just sitting around talking to you guys about personal stuff, and I haven't really delivered any how-to information or news. You're just hanging out and going through this journey with me. That's it. So what the hell is my channel? I don't know. It's like everything I'm interested in is what the channel is, but would people actually subscribe for that? Because they can't, like a stranger who doesn't know me can't pigeonhole what I am, and that's tough. So I don't know what to do. All right, let's see what your comments say. Your intro videos where you give them a taste. Yeah, vegan, now that I'm learning how to use OBS a little, maybe I could do like a little intro video before I start. Also, obviously on the webpage, I do have a little video up, a video explaining for first-timers what I am. But I don't know how many people actually watch that thing. So I'll have to remake it too, because it's old now. I'm thinking of like rebranding this to maybe like Lupo TV or tearing it up, something like that. Well, tearing it up's more like the talk show stuff. So I don't know. Like, and I need your guys' ideas and help because I don't know. Long Hair Hello says, I like to just be you, whatever feels like you're passionate about. Why box yourself in? Because it's easier to explain. It's more about marketing with that. You got to understand that there is a bit of salesmanship in everything we do in life. And one thing I learned about sales is your message has to be very simple and fast and easy to understand. And you have to boil it down into a sentence or two. If I have something I want you to look at, especially in this world where everybody has like short attention span, I've got to deliver it in one punch quick. And that's why people strangers need me to boil it down so they at least understand what the hell this channel is. Because you guys watch it every week and you don't, and I do it every week and I can't barely explain what it is. So I need a nice, concise, short message to people that are watching that, just to at least give an idea of what I'm doing, and then brand that, like actually make a little logo, kind of like Rock TV is, Uni does it, and I like that idea. Maybe putting TV in the title. Lupo TV is short; it's easy to say. It's not, I've seen a few other channels do the word TV with it, maybe that or do something else, I don't know. So let's see what you guys are saying. So Liz says, so if you want to rebrand, keep the format consistent, but cover anything you want, it will make it seem cohesive. And then Affected Collective says, I think a video series of investigative studies on various subjects is your answer, Doc. So yeah, maybe, I mean, that's a good way to describe it too. Like, why would a stranger subscribe, Ooh, Drunken Ewok, I like that. Lupo Live, but I'm not live all the time. I have been filming for months with all these backstories that I haven't done, just because I like going live and talking to you guys, but I'm going to crank out a lot of stories in the meantime. Because believe it or not, unless somebody donates to this channel, live streams don't make a lick of money. Like, all the money I make is on my documentary pieces. Like, monthly, residually, where every month they kick off so much money. That is my set stories that I make, and I keyword, and I write a good description. And my live pieces, I really only make money on when somebody donates, or if it's a good live piece, I might get a couple thousand viewers, and that's like 50 cents or $1. So it's not like making a whole lot of money doing the live. It's just I enjoy interacting with you guys. And it's a lot more fun than just making a story talking to the internet. Wow, okay, let's see. Dark Wolf, hey, what's happening, man? I haven't seen him forever. So, Flymus, your channel's about waking up, community, health, and other stuff. Yeah. Holly had a good question. Let me scroll back and see what her question was. So why worry about what to sell? Let the content speak for itself, or you could pin the explanation to the first vids, Lupo's journey. And Holly says, what's the goal? To have it monetized videos only? No, all right, I would like, obviously, and I've made no secret about this, I make most of my income off YouTube. And YouTube has been going crazy the last few months, and my income's dropped to about half of what it was. And my friends' channels are all getting knocked out. So my answer is, do I readjust and focus on... I think I can still do the stories I want to do and just not worry about getting paid on them. And then I do need some stories that actually make money and pay the bills. And those are the documentary pieces or the little pieces of stuff. As far as like, sometimes I have like a story, how to dig a well, which I just filmed with like a cell phone, me hand digging a well. And some reason that makes a lot of money every month. And it's just like a weird story that I would have never thought would make any money. I just put it up for fun. And then I have very nice, like my biggest story that is the most popular one I made, one of them is called Quit Your Job, Quit Your Job and Farm. So it's an hour-long documentary where I go and interview like 8 different farms about how they quit their job and became farmers. And it follows people who don't know what the hell they're doing try to do their first couple farms. And I focus, that's become very popular. And that has millions of hits, right? So, but it's a very polished piece. It's almost something you would see on TV, So I'm going to have to at least start doing some polished piece stories if I want to increase my income. This stuff is great. Now, Holly says, I want to go back here for a sec, because you guys have some really good comments. People like Lupo Live. Oh, Vicky says Lupo Love. I kind of like that, actually. Because I will say one thing that is the common denominator in all my stories is it's all about how to empower your life. I think farming is the best form of protesting you can do. It is the most liberating thing. Learning how to grow your own food and become independent, so you're not dependent on the government to take care of you, is one of the most powerful, positive, empowering things you can do. And I have a passion for that. But there's, but that's only one little piece of me, I mean, do I throw away the 15 years plus of knowledge I have about, health and nutrition? No, I should do stories with that knowledge too. It seems like a waste not to use it for something, Lupo Love. But I will say the one thing that goes across most of my, I won't say all because my old stuff's a little angry. My new stuff in the last few years is there is a lot of love in the stories. There's a lot of positivity. And if you guys watch my show, I may let people go crazy negative for a while and scare the crap out of you, but I always bring it back to a positive place of empowerment. And all my stories are, at least even the comedy ones that are just for fun, are still to make you feel good and giggle. All of them. So maybe I should focus, like you're saying, on the love angle or the positivity angle that across all my stories. Let's see. I'm behind on the comments. I can't keep up. So just because I watch a video from this channel a few days ago, for some reason, I just get notified of the stream. I think YouTube's drunk. Yeah, YouTube. Hey, Effective Collective. What's up with the donation? Awesome, man. Look at the HypnoCat. He gets the HypnoCat for that. He only comes out to hypnotize people for donations. So I appreciate that. That was really cool of you. Wow, kudos for that. It's been a while. All right, so let me get back. Don says Lupo's self-help channel. It's funny because I feel weird about doing a self-help channel when I can't even get my own life. Like I have no business giving someone else advice on how to live. You know, my own life's a mess. So it's a little hypocritical for me to do that. But I am real on here, and this is real life you're looking at. I don't sugarcoat it or polish it. I screw up all the time. I'm not some guru about anything. I'm going through this with the rest of you, and I think maybe that is authenticity that people are attracted to. That, you know, you can get on after this and talk to me on the Afterglow chat, and, you know, I'll tell you the same. I'm the same person as I am on air, pretty much. So, you know, the vlog side is surprisingly the vlog side of it, where people just want to know what I'm doing in my life and what I'm thinking of. I always thought that would be really weird to put on and boring, but it's gotten the best response, where people are like, wow, it's really helped me to watch you go through these struggles. You know, I had the same thing happen with my breakup, or I had the same thing happen with my parents, or I had, you know, whatever the topic I'm talking about. It seems to help some people just to talk about it. Okay. Yeah, Lupo Love. All right, that is cute. I like Lupo Love. Who came up with that idea originally? Is it Vicky? Much appreciated. All right, let's see. Annette, thanks for joining. And Char. Okay. Holly keeps bringing up Patreon. So let's talk about Patreon model. Now, I'm a little hesitant on doing the Patreon model because I feel like if I get people to donate once a month, will they actually donate ever again on like a live show? You know, if I have a live stream and like Effective Collective just donated $25, which is huge, does that mean that, like, if he signs up for $5 a month, he's like, oh, well, it's covered. I don't need to donate. I've already donated. You know, like, would I make more if I don't have the Patreon? Or would people with Patreon still donate? I don't know. That's kind of one thing that's holding me back with that. And then I do like the idea of Patreon. And I'm wondering, though, how many Patreons does a person support? Because, you know, I got buddies out here that I want to see do good, too. Unirock's got a good Patreon. I want to see people donate to that. You know, my buddy Vegan here, I don't think he has a Patreon now. But there's some stuff that I'm wondering if there are, like, oh, I donate to 4 or 5 different shows I like. Or if someone's like, oh, I already give Unirock $5, I can't give Dr. Lupo $5 too. You know, it's, I don't know. It's just a bunch of BS fear that's in my head, I guess, that I need to clear out. But it has kept me from making a Patreon because I don't want to step on my friends' toes. But I need to do something, obviously, because I can't survive on ad money. Well, maybe I can if I completely shift my channel more. But I still want to be able to give you guys content like this, and Patreon would allow me to speak freely and not worry about it. You know, obviously I think I'm just going to have to do a balancing act of both. And then I keep trying to stream at other things like Twitch. Oh yeah, I've got a Twitch stream going right now. And by the way, if you're watching on Twitch, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to build that over there. And for some reason my YouNow stream is doing nothing. It's just black. I don't know what that's about. So maybe I got to refresh that. I don't know why that is not working, but yeah, weird. My YouNow just died. Okay, well, there we go. So I'm trying to at least make an effort to get off YouTube a little bit. Oh, Effective Collective. You know, dang, I forgot you're a chick. That's right. I knew that. Thank you. I don't know why I called you a he. I don't know where I have Effective Collective. I have like massive dyslexia, and I screw up people in my head sometimes, and I think I had you and UFO Addict mixed up in my head for a second. I know exactly who you are. I've watched your videos, and I know that you have really good, well put together videos that get lots of hits. By the way, if you guys want to go over to, I dig her channel too. Effective Collective has really neat. Ah, Liz, that's a pretty interesting donation. $7.89. All right, thank you. I don't know what that's a weird donation, but I'm grateful for it. Thank you. Um, so I I want to talk about that though. Effective Collective. Let me just give her a pitch. Check out her channel. She does more stories that are set pieces. Like she doesn't do live streams, but she does set pieces where she'll. I'll say that the strength she has is like her incredible editing skills, because she will. God, you must take clips from like 100 different sources sometimes and put them all in, a 15-minute reel. So you don't have to go watch 100 stories. She takes like the best pieces of each story that come up and make it. And I really think that's why her channel's so popular, is because you get just blasted with really good clips in a row, and she ties a bunch of obscure clips together. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, go check out Effective Collective. She is cool beans. So let's see. Let me get back. Instead of kissing her butt now, let me get back to talking about everybody else. Liz, thank you so much. You're the best. There's my non-Patreon donation. Thank you. Yeah, I've got to figure out if I do Patreon. What's your guys' opinion on that? Is Patreon played out, or would you guys still donate to Patreon? Do you feel like that everybody has a Patreon and nobody donates? Is it good? And then what do I give away? Like, I have no idea what to. If you guys don't know what Patreon is like a monthly donation where people pledge to donate to shows they like. And what it does is it allows shows, if they get enough Patreon people, to be free of YouTube's, BS and not have to survive on that money. And the thing is some Patreon subscribers get like $100 or $200 a month from certain, I guess, more affluent people that have that kind of money to donate, and they give big perks at those levels. So, maybe they allow you to pick what the story's going to be if you drop $100 a month. Hey, I want you to do a story on asparagus. Okay, I'll do a story on asparagus. Whatever it is, whatever floats your boat. So, the perks, I just don't know what the hell I'm doing with Patreon. I need to spend some time over there, and if you guys have some perks you think would be good that don't involve me spending a lot of money, as far as, I can't send someone a t-shirt or, do anything like that. But I can do online stuff for somebody, and I could even, give away a signed Kit Kat clock. Oh, Betsy, that's a cool idea. I do love the Kit Kat clock. That's brilliant. But that would have to be a high dollar donation. Those things ain't cheap. We'll have to figure that out there. Okay, so for you guys, I see a lot of people tuning in that are late. Gigi. All right, let me read some of these before I forget to. Candace, I can't look at the stream because I have a landline and they won't let you sign up. Wow, really? If you don't give them a cell phone number. I didn't know that. Gigi, what first caught my attention about your channel was the funny picture of dating stalkers. I thought it may be funny. Well, I do try to put a lot of comedy. Believe it or not, I've got some comedy articles I wrote that I kind of just want to make into stories. A lot of people don't know also I had success as an author. I've got almost 20 different books up on Amazon. I've got a handful of novels, probably about 6 of them are novels. And I used to write for a living, but people stopped reading books and the competition got ridiculous and I just couldn't make a living at it anymore. I kind of miss writing, but I wish I had the ability, honestly, to be able to take my books and like make little stories about them, serials on here. But I don't know how to use graphics or do any of that stuff, and all that stuff costs a lot of money too. It would be neat to be able to just animate like the books, but man, that would be a hell of a project. The thing I probably realistically could do is make audio chapters. I have some of almost all my books are up on audio on this website. If you go dig through, you'll find a bunch of audio books. If you listen to audio with me reading most of them. But the newer books I have not done. So I'm tempted, when I kind of burn through some stories in the winter and I'm looking for things to do, to maybe drop some of my old my books up on audio. But I don't know how many people listen to that stuff. you know, who listens to audiobooks anymore? I don't know. I'm kind of like disheartened a little with the whole writing genre because I just can't get people interested in it. I'd like some advice on that if you guys have. Okay. Effective collective. Oh, thank you, my friend. Making me blush. I don't know if she means me or long hair. Oh, I think she's talking about long hair. Let's see. Do a finger painting. Vicky says do finger painting. It's personal. That would be fun. Okay, you could have some of my crappy artwork if you want. Holly says, check out Richie from Boston. He has very good examples of every level donation. I'm pretty sure, isn't he one of the channels that got knocked out by, I don't know what happened with him, but someone said like his channel got completely taken off YouTube. I never really watched much of his stuff, but that sucks if that happened for him. All right, so finger painting, okay. So maybe like you're saying if I do Patreon, like just do some really weird, crazy stuff like that, right? I'll do something personal like, wow, let's see, what could I give away that I have any? Now I used to make jewelry, but I don't have a jewelry bench anymore. A lot of people don't know that, you know, I'm from a family of jewelers, and from Italy, like my grandparents were jewelers, and before them were jewelers, and somehow I got skipped a generation. So I thought I was going to be a jeweler, and in college, my minor was jewelry design, and I really focused on silversmithing. So in college, I have a biology major. I also have a degree in chemistry, and a minor. The minor is in jewelry design, which is, I guess, also art, but it was mainly jewelry design. I took all the jewelry classes I could at my college, and I for a while I was making jewelry, just selling it for fun on the side. That was a lot of fun, but I got desperate and I had to sell all my jewelry stuff, so I don't have a way to make jewelry anymore. I don't know how to do that, but maybe someday I could make it again if I could get a jewelry desk. The problem is I live in like literally a shack. I mean, it's like so small. I don't even have room for. Well, you guys see when I stream in New Hampshire how small my room is. You can see both sides of the wall when I do my story. You can see it's like a 7-foot storage room that I'm doing stuff out of. There's just no room for anything. So, you know, a jewelry bench takes a lot of room and all that stuff. I don't know. I did like it. Wow, I'm just rambling here. Let's see what you guys are saying. Holly says, check out Richie from Boston and Destroying the Illusion on Patreon. Good examples. Okay. So they both jumped ship because they were getting jerked around on YouTube. I like hearing that. Don says people like hearing about my life. My life's a mess. I mean, I don't know what you want to... I wish I knew what the hell's going on in my life. I have no... It changes weekly. It's... You know, 2017 has been a big year of transition for people. The people I talk to have had great changes this year. I don't know if that's true for you guys too, but man, there's been some cosmic stuff going on to cause. Like I would have never thought my life would take this direction a year ago. It's been a pretty crazy ride. Do a telethon with ridiculous theme. Liz says, I would love to do a funny parody of the Jerry Lewis you know, the PBS ones where they won't let you finish watching a show until you donate enough. Like, and they always complain about, hey, Danny, thanks, Danny Farah, thanks for subscribing. You get the catnip cat. He is fascinated with your subscription there. Thank you. Yeah, that would be a funny one. Body painting. Vicky, I'm not in shape enough to do body. Although, I'll give you guys an update. I have been intermittent fasting for over about a month now. So that means that's about 15 days of fasting. I eat every other day, and I've lost a lot of weight. I feel better. My skin's getting better. It's really working for me. I just eat every other day, and I still eat a vegetarian diet on my days off, but I don't necessarily eat the best stuff. Sometimes I'll have chips or, you know, I'm traveling. If my mom makes a piece of pie, I'm going to have some pie. But what it does is it lets me, if I eat crappy food, I really don't feel bad about it, and I still lose weight by only eating every other day. I I would imagine in 6 months I'm going to look like a very different person. I'm going to keep going until I get to the weight I want to be. So I'll keep you guys in the loop about that as that gets going. All right. GG, thanks for the love. I appreciate you. Always got my back on this channel. Much appreciated. Liz says, Taryn reminds me of myself a bit. I'm starting to wonder if other people feel the same way, and that's why he's drawing them in magnetically. You know, I think maybe it's our generation, Liz, that there's no such thing anymore as people that are like, it's so rare to find somebody that has one interest and really excels at that interest. Most people I know have multiple interests, and they are, you know, they'll do something, get a good understanding of it, get capable of working in it, and then get kind of bored, and it's like, okay, I want to learn a new field. And they jump from field to field. And unfortunately, that can work against some people. Like, you know, when you really master something and you get to be the best doctor in your field or the best musician or the best, you know, you're talking, you got to study a significant portion of your life to get to that level. And those people are becoming the master of your field. Usually those people don't suffer. They make good money. But it takes a long time to get to that level. You're going to suffer and be poor until you're like one of the best musicians, or, you know, until you're a really renowned doctor or something like that. But that's just not our generation. Our generation now is, we're more interested in living, you know, like I want to do these things. And there are powerful ways to take information from A, B, C, and D and create a whole new thing, you know. And YouTube's like a good example of that. Where else could I use all these skills at once, everything I've learned, and make a living with it? Because it allows me to combine all these different animals and to present interesting topics to talk about. I'm blessed. I feel for finding something like that I can be myself, and I can have all these different interests and still make a living. Not much of a living right now, but one day I've got to stay positive. I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to make a damn good living at this. So I just, you know, I don't even need to be rich. I just need enough that I don't have to worry about paying the gas bill, you know? Like, I've been rich before, and it was wonderful to be able to just say, you know, this month we're traveling to Mexico, and stroke a check and not even worry about it. You know, when I was full-time practicing, I made good money. The problem is I don't want to go back into practice because I don't have a passion for it like that. And I think that that time of my life has passed. I don't mind practicing a little bit on the side for fun, you know, keeping interested, but I don't want to go where I'm working 6 days a week and my entire life is my practice. It's just not healthy for me. My life, I've always had a struggle with keeping things balanced, and I have this problem of way going unbalanced and my life falls apart. If I keep things balanced and happy, my life's great. I just have to keep it there. And let's see what messages I missed here. Sometimes, you know, for you guys that don't know, I'm horribly dyslexic, so I cannot read and talk at the same time. I have to stop, read this, and then can give this back to you. Okay. Yeah, Drunken Ewok says, all our lives are messes. That's why we can relate. Affected Collective says, Doc, Patreon tip. Give them sneak previews and vlogs. All right. Telethon. Candace says, don't shave, love the beard. You know, beards are really weird. Either women really like them or hate them. Ellen says, check out the Alpha Biotics. No license paperwork, no insurance, all cash. Oh, she's talking about, yeah, but again, it comes with, do I really want to build a practice, man? You know, if my goal is to help people and help change hearts and minds and souls and just trying to make people's lives better, I could do way more of that on YouTube than seeing a handful of 10 patients or 20 patients a day. You know, I could reach, like my knee video has been viewed 500,000 times, you know, so I'd like to be able to get paid helping millions of people. I don't know, but yeah. Okay, so that's okay. So The let's see. List says, you can rent an 800 number for people who want to call in the YouTube show for 2 hours. Yeah, I don't like call-ins because the way trolls have attacked my show in the beginning, I am not comfortable just letting someone on air saying whatever they want without knowing who they are. So I prefer to screen people by creating a relationship with them on Discord, or I know who they are because they have a YouTube channel and I kind of know what to expect when they come in. I don't like taking random people because I just don't trust that they can behave themselves on air. Let's see. The telethon. Everybody keeps talking about the telethon. Alico Tunes. Oh, what? Darn it. This thing's hard to see sometimes, the chat. Lico Tunes Lopez, how about Lupo Rock? Oh, no. I think Uni might get a little mad about that. That's not really my style. Unirock definitely has his own style, and I support him and his channel. If you're listening, go sign up for his channel. He's a good friend of the show, and we love him. But we are different kinds of love here. Okay, let's see. Candace wants to know what kind of doctor I am. I am a chiropractor, but I'm close. I really need to just do this. I almost have my diplomate in clinical nutrition. So that is basically it takes about 4 years of study for most people to get a diplomate. It is like the 1% of your profession that continue to sign up for punishment to get a diplomate. So that's my next step. I just haven't finished it. I've got a couple hundred hours into classes, but I've still got a big test, and I got to take it serious. And I haven't been, because when you're not practicing, you're not motivated to sit and study for hours of biochemistry and endocrinology when you don't have a reason to use it. It's tough to be motivated to do that, but it's different when I'm in practice and I'm using it and reading blood work every day. That stuff, then I'm very motivated to do it, but otherwise I'm not motivated to do it. So that's about it. All right, so my dad just walked in. I know Liz says finish. I know, I need to, but it's you know what it is I think Liz, it's got to be. I got to get myself, as much as I hate saying it, I have to get back to a time management lifestyle, where in school and stuff, I knew what I was doing and everything was planned out, and in practice and a set job, you know what you're doing. But when you have the freedom to do what you want every day, it is tough to make yourself sit down and finish that kind of grinding work when you're not using it. Like I said, I'm not using that information daily, so I'm not motivated to finish it fast. If I were using, still reading blood work and doing that every day, I'd be very motivated to finish it. It will be done. I'm slowly getting there. I just I don't know. Maybe what I do is take one day a week and work on it every day until it's done. I need to get more, like a schedule where I make myself do stuff. That was one of my big things I was very good at, and the reason I got pretty far in life. I basically earned my first $1 million before I was 30, as far as in practice, and that's unheard of for like a young doctor, because I was on fire. I worked like crazy, and I was very goal-oriented and focused. And the biggest thing about that is I was willing to do what other people weren't willing to do. If you can do that, if you can make yourself do stuff that other people hate doing, you can make a really good career. And you just got to learn how to. It was just like self-discipline. I had crazy self-discipline. And then over the years, that discipline went away, and I got lazy and fat and unmotivated and just not. I just kind of went the opposite direction of, there was nothing out there that excited me enough to put that kind of focus and attention and work on. And I'm slowly getting geared up and finding my self-discipline again. I miss self-discipline. It's like a muscle. Self-discipline really is a muscle. It gets better the more you use it. When I used to be in, I played like 20 years of rugby, and I coached rugby. Rugby was the beginning of my life was all about rugby. That's all I did. And I learned as an athlete about self-discipline. And I think athletes kind of get it, where they get up and they run when they don't want to run, and they do exercise when they don't want to exercise, and they force their bodies to do what your mind wants it to do. And after a while, it's like a muscle. Your willpower gets stronger and stronger. And I hated. Okay, at that time I didn't know that when I was playing, I didn't know milk gave me asthma and allergy problems. So I would drink milk at college and pound that stuff away, and I didn't realize it was causing my asthma to be so bad on the rugby field. And so my lungs would always give out way before my legs would. In other words, I could run. When I ran a mile or something, I sounded like I was going to have a stroke, because of my breathing. And I would always have to slow down and stop to catch my breath before I got tired with my legs. But I've never been a good distance runner. I've always been a sprinter. I have very strong, big legs, and they can sprint and they can hit hard, but I was never really good at distance. And, an average rugby game, you run, I think it's somewhere between 6 to 10 miles in a game. So you got to learn how to do distance running, and I always sucked at it. I really wish, it wasn't until chiropractic school I figured out I was allergic to milk, and then, once I got off milk, my asthma stopped completely, and I was able to breathe and run. But the point I'm making with all this is that I hated running because it was like painful. It was torture to push my lungs. And I did it anyway because my mind made it would be like self-talk, like, keep going, you're not allowed to quit until you're done with this lap, keep running, because when you're exhausted, you have this fight in your mind. Your mind's saying, keep going. Your body's yelling, I don't want to keep going. Just walk this lap. Don't run this lap. And I'm like, no, I've got to run. And I got one more sprint in me. You always got one more sprint in you, one more. And even when you're exhausted and you can't walk, you gotta somehow summon the power to have one more sprint. And that kind of self-discipline on the pitch gave me discipline in other areas of my life. So when I wanted to do some sort of diet, I could fast and not let myself eat because my brain would override my body. But when you don't practice it, for years I got lazy and just let my body win that argument. And it's like, don't run. Okay, I don't feel like running. Don't get up and exercise today. You know what? Go eat some more chips. Do whatever the hell you want. And if you give in to your body, after a while it destroys your self-discipline and willpower. But the good news is you can build it back. It just takes little victories. So you pick something really small to win on, and then you build off that. And as you get going, like an example, my intermittent fasting, where the first day you quit eating is tough. Second time you do it's a little tough. Third time it's a little tougher. Now it's like I don't even think about it, and once in a while my stomach will grumble and my mind's just like, shut up, and then that's it. The argument's over. My self-discipline has gotten much stronger, and now that's spilling into other areas of my life. Now I'm like, well, maybe I've got enough energy and focus to do other things. Okay, let me see what I have missed here. Okay. Long hair. Wow. Okay. Sorry. I was back here where Lissa's yelling at me to finish my diplomate. I know. I'm getting more there. Scott, I love y'all. Oh, this is to everybody else. He's saying, beautiful, highly intelligent human beings are so important to me. Thank you. I assume I'm in that. Yeah. Susanna says, there was so much drama last year, but it was hilarious in retrospect. Yeah, there was a lot that went down. It was a crazy year last year. This is all about stuff that happened last year. Then people are saying hi to my dad. He walked in there for a sec. He said he'd do a live sit-down with me next time I come through town. I'm only here for a day. I got to get back because it's starting to snow. And the house is not winterized where I'm at. And it's still flooding and raining. When it's not snowing, it's raining. And that dam is barely holding. So I've got to get the house prepped for emergencies still. It's still... there's a lot of drama going on this week while I'm gone. A lot of people, let's see, talking about this. All right, everybody else is talking to each other in the chat. So, if I missed something and I didn't address it in your chat, please say it again right now and tag me in it, and I will address the question or comment. Yeah, I think self-discipline, like I said, is a learned thing. My discipline's getting better and better the further I'm going. Like I said, intermittent fasting works really well for me. I've kind of over the years screwed up my metabolism so bad that nothing works except fasting for me. Like a low-calorie diet makes me crazy hungry and it makes me miserable. It's much easier for me just not to eat at all, and I don't have that reaction. It's strange. Like I guess it doesn't set the blood sugar up, for that way. And I know I'm a vegetarian, so keto diets are kind of out of the question for me. And then I get bored if I eat just nothing but salad. So there's a combination of things that I'm playing with to be where I'm happy, and intermittent fasting seems to be the best answer for me. Okay, so if you guys that are tuning in, I see a lot of late people popping in. Originally, I opened this broadcast up because my channel is a variety channel and it's a mess. It's all over the place. Wait, Dad, do you need something? You can talk. What?
You're supposed to go at 11:15.
Oh, is it time to go?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't realize that. I've got to wrap this up and go to lunch with my dad. We will talk soon again. So thanks for your support. Love you. I didn't realize that's why he was coming in here. Tell me to leave. I got to go. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Love y'all. Bye.